Common Council of Connersville is now in session. Please rise. We'll have the Pledge of Allegiance by, who is supposed to have it? Debbie Montgomery.
I pledge allegiance to
the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Give everybody with silence their ringers. Pastor Richie Ware will lead us our invocation.
Heavenly Father, we ask you and we approach you, Father, for wisdom for this council, for guidance and for knowledge. Father, I pray for each individual family of the people who are representing our community here. Father, I ask you that you would bless them, Father, emotionally and spiritually. And Father, we ask that you would bless our community. And God, we ask you that you would put your hand on our community, that you would grow it and enrich it, Father. For your will's sake we pray. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Richie.
Thank you, Pastor.
Yeah. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phillips.
Present.
Councilman Nutty.
Present.
Councilwoman Durham.
Present.
Councilman Frank. Councilman Bishop.
Present.
Councilman Nobby.
Here.
Councilwoman Montgomery.
Present.
Okay, we have a quorum, and so you have a copy of the minutes of the last meeting of October 2nd. Is there any additions or corrections? If there's none, I entertain a motion to pass.
So moved.
Second.
Could I have a motion and a second to pass the minutes as presented? All in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, Brian, you want to come up and explain your plight?
Sorry. Thank you. Thanks, sir.
Thank you, sir.
It's going to take me longer to pass these out than it is to...
Thank you.
First of all, I'd like to thank everybody's time, letting us come up here and speak real quick. Want to make sure that everybody knows we are not asking for a vote tonight, but wanted to be able to go over the proposal that SAPA has for the airport. In the documents I gave you on the back page is the picture, and it's outlined in the color codes of what the different phases are and the scope of the project. On the very first page I gave you is pretty much the overview. First of all, I want to make sure you know too that SAPA is not asking for any money for this project. They're going to fund this project themselves internally. SAPA is proposing to the Connersville Airport to lease for 2 years with potential extensions, maybe the first right of refusal, to be able to lease the laydown pad where the windmills were kept a few years ago. We've already checked with HPH. They designed that pad pretty much, and they know that with the weight that was for the airport or for the windmills is not even close to what SAPA is going to be putting the trailers on. SAPA's trailers are going to be a lot less. Okay, so we don't have to worry about destruction of that pad by any means. SAPA will be maintaining what they build, the road and the pad, if there's any damage done to it from the semis. They are also looking to be able to lease the hangar along the airport road that's roughly about 4,800 square feet. They just want to be able to put non-combustibles in. They're going to put some removable or some racks in that's going to be anchored with removable anchors. So when SAPA was to leave, the only thing you got to do is just fill the holes with epoxy, and you couldn't even tell any racks were there. Okay. SAPA would be upgrading the lighting if needed. SAPA is also going to be putting in, let me get to that though. I want to stay on track here. This is going to reduce the semi-traffic off of Highway 1 because right now you figure there's 15 to 20 loads a day that just the yard dogs alone take across the highway. With all the other trucks coming in and grabbing the trailers, that's going to alleviate a lot of traffic off of 1. It will not alleviate any traffic that's backing up, but that's something else to be considered, later on. So they have to be able to back in the trailers to be able to tarpon and stuff. 450 North at this time will not be accessible. The gate's going to be closed. So the only time that we would access 450 North is of an event of an extreme emergency. You'd be contacted, the lawyers would be contacted, the airport board would be contacted, but we don't see that happening. But we want to make sure that in case we have to access it, 450 is there to access it. We did inspect the can going over 450, and from what the engineers have told me, that it's more than sufficient enough to be able to hold up the weight of a truck and trailer. So
So at this time, you'll do nothing with that
we'll
access
do nothing
road
with
or
that at
anything?
all, no. Legals from both Airport Board and SAPA are drafting the lease agreement. John Bodwell is the airport attorney, and SAPA's attorneys are at corporate, and they're making sure everything is legal descriptions. That's what we're waiting on now. So John Bodwell told me there's 3 things we're waiting on. One of them was the actual legal description. We want to be able to make sure that, what's stated in the lease and everything else is accurate, and we're just to look 2-year lease. We're changing those terms to just a 2-year lease. Exhibit A is the picture I have, and I'll go over it real quick with you. The orange on the right-hand side, that's the laydown yard existing right now. I got this off a 2005 GPS, so it still shows the windmills over on the pad. The Airport Board or SAPA one, there's some grass that's grown up there on the pad and everything else, but one of us will take care of that. We've already talked about that, and it's all arranged. The red line is the line going across the railroad tracks directly behind SAPA. Pete Bell and I are working on that to be able to make sure that the railroad track is, the integrity is not hurt. We're actually looking to be able to upgrade that crossing, compact them a little bit more than what we had anticipated, and just to be able to make sure the railroad tracks aren't going to bow in and out. Along the green line, there's a couple things that's going to be happening along the green line. The green line is the existing road that's going along the airport hangar, and it was a road that originally, and correct me if I'm wrong, you two, but that road was originally part of the road before everything else was built.
We donated that to SAPA.
You donated that to SAPA, okay. There's a fuel tank and bollards right there at kind of like the corner of the SAPA property, and we are removing the bollards, we're removing the fuel tanks, we're going to relocate them. At the hangar, we're going to be putting in a pad to be able to access on the west side of the hangar, and putting in an overhead door along that way too. So we're going to put bollards up along the door to make sure we lower the risk of damaging the airport hangar. We've already got everything that we're looking at inside the hangar, the racking and the layout of the racking and what we're able to be able to do in there. We're going to, along the blue line, there's a dark blue line right now. That's an existing gate. It's a 30-foot wide gate. Don't plan on doing anything other than that, than leaving it open. Now, if security measures later on deem that we need to do something, then we'll talk with the airport board and see what it needs to take. The blue line, this is just, it's not accurate of where it's going to be located at, but the blue line is the road that SAPA is paying to be able to put in to access the south side of the laydown pad. I gave you some stipulations along here, what the width and the depth is going to be. It's going to be 24 foot wide, enough for 2 trailers, 2 semis to be able to pass at any given time. We don't look at the traffic going down that road as being intense. A lot of it is just going to be what we call the yard dog, transporting trailers back and forth. There might be some other carriers that go back, but there again too, it's off of one. We go, down the lane that SAPA is providing.
The orange rectangle you have there is limited because of the size of the photo, but will you be actually using that entire pad? Or
No,
just-
that's 13 acres right now. We're only going to be using approximately 4 acres of that.
Okay, great.
Now, we did look at the possibility if the windmills came in later on. From what the windmill used at that time compared to what SAP is using at this time, the pad's big enough for both. So we just have to be able to make sure that, both are, able to be able to accommodate that area. So, that is, that all those roads that they put in are going to be 12 inches deep with compacted asphalt or compacted base. make sure I'm not forgetting anything. This is, like I said, this is real short and simple. After the terms of the lease, the access road, the overhead door become property of the airport. So we're not going to pack up the road and take it. SAPA's not, and they're not going to remove the door. They're going to leave it there. Now, we talked with Jeff Dungan, and the one that rents the hangar right now, or uses it for his use. He's going to relocate his airplane. So other than that, Airport Board and SAPA and I have met. Everybody's in agreement. I just found out late Friday that we needed to be able to have the City Council's blessing on this. So at 7:15 on Wednesday night, since we have to advertise it for 48 hours, could we advertise that, have a special meeting, and have a special vote to be able to see if you, the City Council, and the Mayor, and the City Attorney are all in favor of it?
Well, and we spoke, the mayor, Mr. Dobb, and I spoke late Friday afternoon about that, because the council does have to okay any lease of the airport property, and you can't, because this wasn't on the agenda for tonight, you can't deliberate or make a decision, obviously, or vote, or okay the lease, which we explained, but he still wanted to come ahead and present everything, so we can give our 48-hour notice that's required under the open door law. And then, you have the information and you can deliberate publicly and ask questions and okay it or not okay it at that meeting. And that's what we told them.
So does the 48 hours start from now, or like 7?
Well, we have to give, the paper is here, the radio is here. But typically, wouldn't you also post notice? So you would post that, you could post that tomorrow, and then
That would put you into Thursday.
that would be Thursday evening.
Who wouldn't be able to attend the Thursday evening? Diana, you wouldn't be able to? Anybody else wouldn't be able to attend the Thursday
Daryl,
meeting?
correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember during the past administration, a 48-hour meeting was called, and the mayor at that time asked, when can that start? And you were at the meeting, you said, well, you have informed the media now. So does that still stand? Do you remember doing
48
that?
hours, she's talking about
It
posting
has to be
No,
on
a
paper.
notice.
out front, so
Yeah.
would be from whenever you can do that.
For the rest of the public who's not
Okay.
watching or who is not media, the rest of your citizens who, and I know a lot of citizens now look at things online and
Uh-huh.
watch this on TV, but you typically would post that. So I would say you need to err on the side of complying with the open door law, so
agree.
what's the difference between Wednesday or Thursday?
Yeah.
Because as I explained to Brian, if you take an action and you violate the open door law, if someone challenges it, it's voidable, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to cause all that problem for everybody, so just make sure that you don't have to worry about that.
Could you inform me of the time, Beth, or
Well, I'm
somebody,
gonna,
just let me know?
I can make myself available Thursday evening. Do you want to, can
Yeah,
a
well,
quorum of people be
We'll
here
have to
on
have
Thursday?
Rosemary advertise it.
Can we have,
No,
will we have a
the
forum
media's
there?
informed, it just has to be posted.
Okay.
Posted publicly, and so you can
We can
check.
set the time now
Okay.
at 7 o'clock Thursday night.
I'll make myself available then.
Make 7?
Is everybody available, or
And
Will we have a
is
quorum?
7 a full 48 hours in?
Well, I would say we started
Yeah.
close enough to 7.
Okay.
If we post it tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., it'll
Okay.
be 9 a.m. Thursday, it'll be 48 hours.
Okay.
Is that soon enough, Brian?
I'm not gonna rush anything. I'd rather make sure that everything's, taking the right course.
Very good.
So I don't want to take a chance on, we've worked long and hard on this, so. Anybody have any questions?
Brian, I have
Yes,
a
sir.
question. When does the liability part go away from the airport and become SAPA's as far as the airport being liable?
Can you question all this right now? Can we discuss this right now?
Well,
No, I'm just
I would-
asking a question. I mean,
Well,
just as soon
okay.
as your lawyers gets done with the paperwork, is that when it is, or when they break ground, or?
I checked with Wilson Lawson Myers Insurance. They said that SAPA would carry the liability on the road and the vehicles that's going down the road that's SAPA's property. Other carriers would have their own, and the airport would not be able to have to be required to be able to carry any additional insurance.
That was my question, that's all I got. Okay.
And I think probably your lawyer should come Thursday and he can answer the questions like that fully.
Thursday?
I don't know if our lawyer is going to be able to get down here by Thursday.
It can Bodwell be here Thursday? I'm talking about your lawyer because he's
The
gonna know
airport's
that.
lawyer, Gene?
I'm kind of bewildered. I just spoke with our consultant before it came in. We can't have, he said there's no way possible that we can have a legal description of that property. It's got to be surveyed and everything else. We can't sign anything legally Tuesday. What we came down here for, what I thought Brian made an appointment for us for, was to get your blessing so that we could sign it when it became necessary and forego a special meeting. We've done that in the past. You just say, oh, okay, after the lawyer explains it to you, what we're going through the Indiana codes and so forth, and Brian explained what we're going to do or what he wants to do, and we're in favor of that. We don't have a problem. We want to keep SAPA here in town, and we'll do anything we can to make that happen. That's what we're for. But we can't sign anything until it's legal.
I
But
think all
you
this,
can't approve,
We can
they
approve.
can't approve a lease until there's a 48-hour notice and it's on the agenda that they are going to be considering approving a lease.
That's all
So,
we ask for.
so that's what we'll do, is
That's
we'll
the
give that
intention.
notice.
we have to wait 48
That
hours,
doesn't mean
Gene.
it's gonna be signed at that time.
No.
It's just the approval, our approval of the lease
Yes.
when it is signed.
That's what I'm
Or when
asking
it
for, is
ready,
your
when it is
approval
ready.
for when it
Yeah.
is ready,
It doesn't mean
then,
that it has to be signed.
Well, that's what,
at that day.
but I misunderstood then. I thought the
It's
special
actually just
meeting,
giving him permission to
we're not gonna
proceed
have a
with it.
legal description for probably a week or 10 days or more. I don't know. I asked him to push it, and he said he would, but they still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, it's not unusual for city-owned property not to actually have a property record card or in any.
Well, we
past
did have
survey.
on the laydown yard for the 13 acres, Mr. Baker saw to that. But then this is a whole new concept now. This is not the 13 acres anymore. This is the 4 acres south of that.
Right.
And the road. All this is working for us. We voted, we want to do it ASAP,
But
but
we want to do it.
Well, let's
But we
talk
can't vote
about
on it
that
yet.
at the special
Right.
meeting.
Yeah, we can't talk.
Give everybody the chance to come and
So-
talk all about
we'll
that.
check
You
and
can
see if
approve it
John
you want
Bodwell
to.
can come.
Absolutely.
You know, or Gene can, the airport board can take care
Yes.
of that. Another thing that I wanted to make sure everybody knew is all this is done by local contractors.
Good.
So all this money that SAPA is spending is staying in 100% internally with the city. I'm saying the road project, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
I might add that we're sacrificing a building or hangar. We're not sacrificing, we'll get rent from it. But we have to then take that money and build something to store our equipment in. We can't have our tractors, snowplows, and all that sitting out in the open. So we're gonna have to spend that money to build another building.
Now, isn't that the hangar that the corporate planes set in and when they come?
No, we don't have any corporate planes that'll fit in there. That's 60 by 80, you can't get a jet in that. We do have light planes parked in there, and we have our equipment parked in there at the present time, but we're willing to move that out so SAPA can move ahead, and we're trying to do anything that we can do to
I
ensure.
think, let's wait and keep
Yeah.
all this for our
Yeah,
special
yeah,
meeting
we're not allowed to
That's
and,
discuss
and
it
let
right
this
now.
go, so we don't discuss it, so,
Thank you.
thank you guys.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you.
So Thursday evening still
Yeah.
is good?
Yeah.
7 o'clock.
Do we have a quorum? Because I think there's 3 down here. You guys can make it? Okay, so we'll have a quorum.
I did talk to Councilman Frank, and he is all in agreement with all of you, so I
Okay.
wanted to hear your opinions first
He
to
won't
make
be able
sure.
to, he won't be able to make it
If you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to give me a call before the meeting, just to be able to answer questions about what pertains to that.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for giving us
Thank you
a
for your
heads up.
time, I appreciate it.
See you
Very much.
Thursday.
Okay,
Actually, it's a little better. Kind of.
we're going down to new business. Rosemary, would you like to suspend the resolutions, please?
Okay, resolution 2017-58 is reimbursing $249.99 to be appropriated into the police telephone and $429 to be appropriated into the first aid donations. What that involves is where they sold T-shirts to raise money for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Resolution 2017-59 is reimbursing the police vehicle account in the amount of $700 where the police department sold the Ford Explorer to the correction officers. Resolution 2017-60 is reimbursing $250 for scrapping out the 2017 Ford Police Crown Vic, and that'll be reimbursed into police vehicles. Resolution 2017-61 is reimbursing police vehicles again in the amount of $4,185 for the, from Coons Auctions from where we sold 4 vehicles.
Rosemary, on 2017-59, the $700, it says here it was for the purchase of a Durango.
It's actually a Ford Explorer, what was sold to the Fayette County correction officers, right? Probation officers.
So it's a Ford Explorer, not a Durango.
Okay.
I'll make a motion we pass resolutions 2017-58, 59, 60, and 61.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any more discussion? If not, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Going down to item E. This is the approval of the 2018 budget. Gabe, would you like to speak to this, or Rosemary? Gabe was on the finance committee.
Well, we met over that, the budget. We had great discussion. Looks like it's fundable, and I think we got some good things moving forward as we look forward to putting in some non-reverting funds to help start buying equipment that is definitely aging, and definitely set that up over a period of time. So I think this budget should work. I think we've accounted for everything that we can account for.
Okay, Rosemary, you got anything to add?
Nope.
Okay, any council person got anything to add? If not, I'll,
I have one quick question, Gabe. Are we going to try to establish for this money that we're setting back a figure of how much we're going to try to set back a month, or we're just going to try to do as it comes in, or do we have a plan for that?
We had a number that was in the budget, and then we asked to pull that out and then to set that in a non-reverting fund. Those numbers will all, Rosemary's probably got them right.
If it's going to be, that's fine. I got it.
So it looks like police, we're looking at 52,000, landfill 52,000, park 20,000, and MVH another 52,000.
and you gotta remember, this here, we will be asking for additional appropriation for this at the first of the year, so.
So that we can actually set up the funds.
Right, so it won't be in there right now. We'll have to come in January and do an additional appropriation, so.
And the reason we said non-reverting funds is because some things like that, the loader down at the transfer station, those things are very, very pricey. So we're not gonna be able to pay for that 1 year.
No.
And it's better to kind of save that money and then pay for it all at once instead of having a lease payment or something of that nature.
No, we'll have a special, additional appropriation beginning of next year for this.
Mm-hmm.
Each year thereafter would just be built into the budget, and money already be there, or?
That was kind of my question too.
We will try to do something similar to that. I don't know if I will leave it in
Or a monthly thing,
the adoption of the budget. First time doing it, I did it a little differently, so.
I think it's a great idea.
I do
We
too.
need to set money back to purchase equipment instead of, once the equipment falls apart,
Yeah.
go, where are we gonna get the money?
Not only do we have an equipment emergency, now we got a money emergency. So
Yeah,
it's better
right.
to have, we'll do one thing at a time.
I
So.
agree.
Good job.
Okay, is there any more discussion on it?
Thank you, Gabe.
If not, I'll entertain a motion to pass.
So
A second reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to pass the pending ordinance of the budget of 2018, pending ordinance 3369. Let's do a roll call vote.
Councilman Bishop,
Yes.
Councilman Noddy,
Yes.
Councilman Montgomery,
Yes.
Councilwoman Phillips,
Yes.
Councilman Nettie,
Yes.
Councilwoman Durham.
Yes.
Okay, Passed. So now let's, do we want to suspend the rules and go to third and final reading?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to go to third and final reading. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, we'll go on to third and final reading. Need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any more discussion? Okay, we're going to pass pending ordinance 3369 on third and final reading. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, passed. Okay, item F has been voided, so we're going down to item G, the transfer and dissolve the dormant fund balance. Rosemary?
Here's your copy. Can I have a copy of it? This is a fund that was last used in 2010, and it had the remaining balance of $11,020.50. That once you, we haven't used it in, as I said, 7 years, so we're gonna make it dormant and then transfer those monies to general.
What was the account?
It was the insurance that was evidently, did we manage that, or it was whatever insurance where the fund flew from
Oh, I
the
think
city
for the- yeah,
insurance.
For IAC?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
You have a motion and a second on pending ordinance 3370. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, is there a motion to move the third and final reading?
So moved.
I mean,
Suspend the rules.
suspend the rules?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, you have a motion and a second. All in favor of suspending the rules, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, we need a motion for third and final.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for third and final reading. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, passed. Go to item H. Okay, if it's okay with you guys, I'm gonna have Rosemary explain all the salary ordinances, and you can take them all at once if you like. If not, we can take any one of them out that you want to talk about, but I'll just go ahead and have her do that.
Pending ordinance 3371 is the cable salary ordinance. The cable board approved of raises in the amount of $2,700 annually for both the director and the assistant director. Pending ordinance 3372 is the salary ordinance for the elected officials. The finance committee had approved a $2,000 raise for the mayor and the clerk treasurer, but the member of the council members did not receive a raise. Pending ordinance 3373 is the fire department salary ordinance, and the fire chief got a $2,000 annual raise. All of the salaries were the same. Pending ordinance 3374. 3374 is the first aid. There was no changes. They have the same salary as last year. Pending ordinance 3375 is 3375, sorry. Park contractual, there was no raises or no changes. 3376 was
Non-contractual.
non-contractual. The superintendent, the recreational director, and the secretary all received raises for the non-contractual. Pending ordinance 3377 is for the police department, and the chief and the assistant chief received the raises. The street department on pending ordinance 3378. There was no raises on the contractual. On pending ordinance 3379 is for the transfer station. There was no changes. Pending ordinance 3380 is the salary ordinance for the transfer station. There's no changes on that. 64, no, pending ordinance 3381 is the
Utilities bargaining.
utilities bargaining, and their contract approved of their getting a 25-cent raise July 1st of next year. So their January through June salaries stay the same, and they'll get a quarter July 1st. Utilities, non-bargaining, will get the same 25 cents July 1st of next year. And pending ordinance 3383 is the various departments where it has the first aid commander, airport attorney, street sanitation, city hall employees, like the first aid commander, the street superintendent, the secretary, mayor's secretary, the clerk treasurer deputies, the grant administrator, if I can talk, and the police department secretary will receive the raise.
Okay. Is there any questions on the ones that they, except for? Let's see what.
I would like to point out that the reason for the raise is because many of the non-contractuals had not had a raise in a number of years. I can't remember exactly the number, but I want to say it was over 10.
I can't remember.
Does that sound right?
I know it's been over at least 5 or 6.
Well, we went back to 2008,
It
and
was
we
a
did not see
significant period
any.
of time.
Okay.
There was one, yeah, there was one that, the mayor and, the treasurer got.
Yeah, that was to fund the positions, because the positions are well below where those positions are of other cities of our size.
I thought the secretary for the street department and several others got raises too.
I did thought so too. Evidently that motion had failed back last administration, because I thought that as well when we first started talking about it, but
I really thought that.
I did too.
Okay.
Okay, is there any motions to pass items H through T?
So are these raises fundable?
Yes.
Yeah,
Doable?
everything's fundable.
Yes, we have it.
It was worked in the budget and it's fundable.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion to pass the pending orders 3371 through 3383.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
You have a motion and a second. Is there any more discussion? We'll just go ahead and do a roll call vote on this.
Councilwoman Durham?
No.
Councilman Bishop?
No.
Councilman Nabi?
Yes.
Councilwoman Montgomery?
Yes.
Councilwoman Phillips?
Yes.
Councilman Nutty?
Yes.
Okay, passed on first reading. Is there a motion to suspend the rules and go to third and final?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to suspend the rules and go third and final. We'll do a roll call vote.
Councilman Nutty?
Yes.
Councilwoman Durham?
No.
Okay, that goes, have to go to the next meeting. Okay,
I do appreciate the clerk treasurer's office giving us a summary of all of them and a quick reference. I know that's extra time involved, but it's a great help to us.
okay, well, I'll go on down to item U. Pending ordinance 3384, transfer into TV.
Cable TV is asking to be able to transfer $635 from travel to minor equipment.
So moved.
Second.
You have a motion and a second. All in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Okay, going down to old business. I do know on October,
We need to go through the rest
You
of
have to
that.
suspend the rules and.
sorry, I got excited.
It's all right, Al. You're the mayor, Al. You're all right.
Okay, is there a motion to suspend the rules on, and go to the third and final reading?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules. All in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, I need a motion to go on to third and final.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to pass pending ordinance on 3384 on third and final reading. All in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Now we'll go on down to old business. I do know we're going to have the Free Friday, October 27th on a Friday, so I guess that's the reason we call it a Free Friday. And there, Diana, would you like to explain yours again on that day, what you and some other people have,
Yeah, we have you can access it on Facebook, Paying Connersville Forward, or Paying Forward Connersville is one of the two. And anyone who would like to volunteer to pick up large items from people who aren't able to do it during the day. You cannot leave them on the street because the street department is not picking up anything next day. It's completely bring in. And we also need people who do have a problem with, aren't able to bring them themselves, to call the street department, 825-1421, and they can coordinate that, and we'll coordinate that so that a truck will pick up your large items and take them to the transfer station. And then also, we want to remind that there is we're going to include tires this time, used tires, automobile only, and a limit of 4 per household, and that will be checked with IDs this time only. It's a one-time deal. And this is financed by the city. It's not a freebie for everybody, so please use it in the way it's intended to be used. But since the tires have been added to the nuisance ordinance, we figured we thought it would be a good idea to have kind of like an amnesty period to where you could bring 4 in and at the cost. But there is a cost to the city for disposing of those tires, so it's not, it's kind of a gift from the city as a goodwill gesture, we'll put it that way.
We've got 15 or 20 volunteers, but nobody asking for help.
Yeah, so if you need help, please call.
The furniture's all around already out of the streets.
This is an opportune time for everybody that's got their junk sitting around to clean up the city.
Yes.
And we need to take advantage of it.
If you're gonna put it on the street, call us and let us know where it is, so we can pick it up that day and take it, because the street department will not pick it up.
Better yet, leave it in your garage and we'll come get it.
Absolutely, absolutely. But if you've already got it out there or whatever, yes, absolutely.
yeah, this is one of those that it does give everybody a chance to clean up some property, so
Yes, and
hope they
that's all.
take advantage of it. And that was, the miscellaneous, that was what I was gonna bring up, was the cleanup, the Free Friday. Another thing, this week, last weekend, we had the event.
Shred Day.
We had Shred Day, and we also had events up at the park in Alquina that were very well attended. I went to Alquina and I seen people that have been up here, and when I come here, I see people that was from Alquina. So it was very well. So appreciate everything going on in that day.
One other thing, if I may.
Go ahead.
I'd just like to expound on this free trash pickup. Get it the day that it's supposed to be picked up. Don't put it out there the next day, because it will not be picked up. It will sit there, or no one will come to pick it up,
Well,
right?
you can't put it out anyway.
Right. Well,
Don't put it in front of your house.
Yeah, I just want to make a
Don't put
point.
it in front of your house, period, and that's the only day from 8, and don't wait until the last minute to come bring I think they close at 4:30.
Yes.
Don't wait until 4:30 or 4, even 4, try to be there by 4 o'clock, because they will close at 4:30, because we have to pay overtime if they're there late.
Whoever's in line at 4:30 is all will be done.
Absolutely, but
Okay,
don't
be
wait until
shut.
4:30.
Okay.
Thank you, Mayor.
You don't want to
Okay.
do it if you want to do it.
Has any council members got anything they'd like to talk on?
Yeah, I do. I got 2 things. First off, I would like to wish my wife a happy anniversary. She's tolerated me for 13 years, so happy anniversary, Meg. That's the first thing. Second thing, you've heard me talk about before, but Morgan Weir is competing at the National FA Convention. She's a national finalist for the Proficiency Award area on October 25th to the 27th. She's got things all that period, so if you see that young lady, wish her good luck. She's got a big interview, and then she's going to be on stage on the 27th, so we'll find out whether she's fourth, third, second, or first in the nation. So it's a pretty big deal.
It sure is.
I know there's no one around here that's been ranked that high from Connersville since the 70s.
We've gone that
So,
far.
And that's what event?
and it's the Forge Production Proficiency Award area. So basically, it's where she's done some sort of project outside of class time, where she is learning an occupation. So she's basically learning to be a hay farmer, and she's doing an amazing job at it. She's a great kid.
That's
Great
great.
kid.
That's great.
And if you haven't got to meet her, you will. We'll bring her up here one day.
Yeah.
Great.
Has anybody else got anything?
I do, real quick. I have to advertise for cable TV for an additional appropriation for $100,000 for what we have invested. Earlier this year, the cable board had approved investing $100,000, and it's currently making money, so I have to get that appropriated.
So it's money they've already have and invested.
Yeah, we just did it a couple months ago, so I just need to advertise for the additional appropriation. Even the money's there. The way it works, it just has to be appropriated, so I don't have any negative appropriations.
Okay, so is there a motion to advertise?
It doesn't have to be a motion, it'll be,
It's not a public hearing, it's just an advertisement. Is that correct?
once I advertise it, and then it'll be public hearing, and then we'll.
Okay. Okay. That's your forte, that money stuff. Okay. Go ahead and open up to the public. Anybody would like to say anything? Brian, you got anything you'd like to say? No? All right. You sure? Okay. Anybody got anything to say? Okay, if not, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Adjourn.